Oh, this was no boating accident. It wasn't a propeller, it wasn't a coral reef, and it wasn't Jack the Ripper. It was a 45. Now this is a 45 Slugfest that has been on my list for a long time. HK-45, FNX-45 Tactical. If I don't accomplish anything else today, I'm going to have a good time. I apologize in advance for what's likely to be a lot of background noise out here at the range. I have picked just about the noisiest place on the planet, but you know what? You got to work where you can. Sig Sauer provided the Elite Performance ammo, both full metal jacket and jacketed hollow point that I'm going to be using today. This is 230 grain full metal jacket. I'm also testing out a rubber dummies target you can see downrange. I've been breaking it in a little bit with some 380 and some 9mm, but now let's really see how it does with 45 ACP. Starting out with the FNX-45 Tactical. Wow, what a shooter. And I love 45. HK-45. Same. Back to the FNX. Both guns have external safeties. Both are hammer decockers. So we can start out double action. Also start out double action with the HK-45. Much longer and harder pull. Feels a little better on the HK though. Nice. Both of these guns are a handful. They both handle the 45 ACP really nice. And of course, HK paddle mag release. Let's put a few on paper and see how they group. I'm going to start out with the FN. And for both of these, I'm shooting Sig Sauer V-Crown. 200 grain jacketed hollow point. Really good defense stuff. I am also 15 yards away from that target. And sliding on over to the right, HK-45. Same everything, 15 yards away. Nice. Okay, here's how these two guns stack up in the numbers game. Of course, they're both 45 ACP, or we wouldn't be doing a Slugfest. Barrel length of the FNX-45 is 5.3 inches. That is longer by quite a bit, actually, than the HK-45, which is 4.46 inches. Overall length of the guns, 8.6 inches for the FNX, 8.03 inches for the HK. The FNX-45 Tactical is a tall fellow at 6.5 inches. Tallest kid in his class, probably. HK-45 is 5.91 inches tall. No slouch either. They could both make the basketball team. With empty mags in them, FNX-45 weighs 33 1/3 ounces. HK-45 not too far behind it at 31.2 ounces. Of course, they are both polymer framed handguns, and so that is our grip construction. They're both pretty well stippled. I prefer the Talon grip, as you can see on the FNX. The only reason, to be honest, that I haven't put the Talon grip on the HK-45 yet is because I just like the way it looks. I hate to mess that up, but it would definitely benefit from a Talon, and I need to get one on there. They both have a 3-dot combat style sight picture. FNX has raised sights. They are suppressor height, and they also co-witness nicely with a red dot when you have a red dot mounted on it. They are tritium enriched night sights, so they will glow under their own power in the darkness. HK-45 does not have natural night sights. They are the glow-in-the-dark type, so they are photoluminescent in that they will absorb natural light or artificial light and charge themselves for a time in which they'll glow, but they will eventually go dark. FNX-45 gives us a traditional rifled barrel, whereas we have the polygonal rifling in the HK-45. Capacity is the big number that really separates these two. 15 rounds is available for your standard magazine in the FNX, whereas 10 rounds is your standard magazine for the HK. They're both very close in terms of overall thickness or width, 1.58 inches for the FNX Tactical and 1.54 inches for the HK, and that includes their widest point with their controls. FNX-45 Tactical is, of course, the top model available in the FNX-45 lineup. There are others. You can get a more plain Jane version that will cost a lot less and have fewer features. This one, of course, has the slide cut for an optic, it has a threaded barrel, and it has night sights. Also comes with a very nice case, 3 magazines, and all that good stuff. So you get a lot, but you pay a lot. The HK-45 that you see in front of you here is kind of the base model. It is also available in an LEM for $100 more. That would give you night sights, that would give you a better trigger and hammer, and I guess that's about it. But, then if we really wanted to have an even playing field, we could look into an HK-45 Tactical, which I don't have in front of me, but I wish I did. Both of those groups are about the same size. They're in two different areas on the target. I got more on the orange dot with the HK than I did with the FN, but the groups are actually just about the same size. And at 15 yards offhand, I'm not unhappy with either one of those groups. That was the V-Crown jacketed hollow point ammo. Let's try 10 each with the full metal jacket SIG Elite Performance. Okay, very nice and very consistent. HK now. And again, the consistency. Consistency of both of these machines and this ammo is very impressive. The HK is really putting a hurting on that orange dot, isn't it? Okay, let's compare these triggers real quick to see what the gauge says, if the gauge will in fact read the double action on them both, because it might be at or over 12 pounds, which is the max for this Lyman gauge, but let's see. We'll start out with the double action for the FNX. Yeah, it's going to be 11 pounds, 4 ounces. So I was able to measure it. All right, now let's try the single action. 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Very respectable number. HK-45, double action. 10 pounds, 6.5 ounces, and that reinforces what I feel when I shoot it. Now let's try the single action. £4 pounds, 10.9 ounces. So the gauge tells me the same thing that my fingers tell me when I shoot them. Lighter trigger on the HK-45. Okay, let's compare trigger function for a moment between the two. Again, these are both double action, single action hammer fired guns, and they're very similar. Starting with the FNX-45 in double action, you can see that there's a little bit of take up. That is certainly not uncommon in a double action. And then you've got that fairly long and fairly heavy pull at over 11 pounds. Work the action, and now for the reset. Not too bad, and then a little bit of take up after you get the reset. But it's a good tactile reset, and it is a very nice and crisp break in single action. The HK-45 in double action, again, double action, single action gun, hammer fired. You have that longer, heavier initial pull. A little bit of take up. Again, no surprise for a double action hammer fired gun. Then your long double action pull. The reset. Very short and good tactile feedback. And then a little bit of take up, maybe a little bit more take up with the HK than with the FNX. Then you're back to the wall, which is a little bit squishy, but a very nice break. As I said, the sights on the FNX-45 Tactical are suppressor height sights. They are also tritium night sights, 3-dot configuration, and I really like them. It is a very nice sight picture. And this gun does shoot soft. Shoots very, very soft. If you're familiar with HKs, you know that they're available with about 100 different configurations. And one of the things that varies from configuration to configuration, or skew to skew, is the sights. This has the sort of plain Jane sights. They are the type that'll glow once they've absorbed some ambient light, but they are not night sights in the true sense. The sight picture is good though. It is a nice sight picture. So here are two, in my opinion, two of the very best 45 ACP full-size handguns that you can buy. They are both very much military grade, very much duty grade. The HK is a little more elegant in its design. It's got a little bit more finesse and it strikes a much more attractive profile. The FNX-45 is much more utilitarian, much more military looking and duty ready looking. I felt like, as much as I enjoy the ergonomics of the HK-45, I actually felt like I was shooting the FNX-45 a little bit better. The grip is narrower in depth for me to hold, so that might be part of it, and I might like the sight picture a little better. Who knows? But even though the HK-45 has a slightly lighter trigger and a kind of a more comfortable feeling grip, they both produce just about the exact same size groups. So I guess I shoot these guns just about equally well or equally poorly, depending on your point of view in judging my shooting, but neither one of them makes me a better shooter or a worse shooter. They are both extremely high quality guns. Take your pick. There's my look at the FNX-45 versus the HK-45. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Slugfest. My huge thanks to my patrons on Patreon who make this video and every video possible. And my special thanks to Sig Sauer for providing the elite performance ammunition used in this Slugfest.